Two of the best players will put their honor and dignity on the line in this furious competition. Welcome to the Shaolia World Championship! And now, introducing our players, Playmaker versus Tricky! Today we are going to play the Trade War game mode. In this game mode, each player will take 2 random trading post tiles at the beginning of the game. These tiles are your exclusive trading posts, and your opponents can't trade with them. Today's loser will be dressed up as the bank. Oh my god, this is going to be terrible. So, who's it going to be? Come on, Playmaker! Don't dress up again, or will it be Tricky? Alright, and into the third game we go. Let's get this trade war going. It is Playmaker's purchase phase. In Game 2, we saw Playmaker start off very strong, but eventually lost because of poor mid-game strategy. Alright, so he's going to be purchasing 4 level 1 cards right off the bat. He gets a market, a blacksmith, a school, and a barricade. He gets a good variety of cards to start off with. His 5th card, he buys a barricade. I know when I play, getting a barricade early makes me feel so safe from attacks. Now, Tricky's purchasing phase is going to use 3 gold, and he's going to get 3 cards, and yeah, so wait a minute, whoa, that's 4 cards, okay, good. Tricky's going to pay that extra gold. We don't have a cheater on our hands here. He's laughing about his mistake, and Playmaker's still beautiful with his pink hair, kind of judging him on that. So yeah, making sure the 4 gold is there for each card. Now, he has his blacksmith and his farm. Those are 2 really good resource cards to get right off the bat. And just like that, Playmaker used a character card in the first round for the 3rd game in a row. Oh my gosh, he's using the Politician to take a level 1 card from his opponent's hand. Looks like he's going to take that farm right there. And he uses 2 gold to build his blacksmith and his farm. All right, good start for Playmaker. In Tricky's building phase, he decides to build 2 of his blacksmiths. All right, Playmaker's rolling those dice, and hopefully he can get okay, so he gets a 1, a 5, and a 6. Now he cannot use his blacksmith or his farm, so he's probably going to opt to use all 3 of the palace's abilities to get 4 gold and 2 officers. I just wish that he probably got a little bit. If he just got a 4 or a 3, he could have activated his blacksmith or his farm, gotten more gold, and maybe a mineral he could use for later, but he didn't get that. Now into Tricky's action phase, he's going to be rolling his dice, and he rolls 3, 5, and a 5, and same here. He cannot activate either of his cards. His only option is to use the 3 innate abilities of the palace to get 4 gold and 2 officers, the same as Playmaker. Now that they have some officers in their pocket, it seems like they are going to activate some cards next round. Going into Tricky's purchase phase, he's going to buy some level 1 cards. Looks like he buys 2 of them. He got a market and a school. Now with those level 2 cards up there in the drafting pool, it's very good to maybe make a combo. He also buys a 3rd card and he gets his infantry. And now into Playmaker's purchasing phase, he ends up buying a market and a farm and another market. All right, so he has a plethora of markets. All right, into Tricky's building phase, he builds that market. Now that's a very good move. With this mode, Trading War, it is very important to utilize trading to the fullest. Now, Playmaker's building phase, he builds a farm. Now he has 2 options for extra gold, which is really good for him. Now into Tricky's action phase, he's rolling his dice. There we go, shake, 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 and boom! We got a 2, a 3, and a 6. And he's going to activate his blacksmith and palace. So he's going to get 4 gold and a mineral with this action phase. It goes into our pretty engineer's action phase, and he's picking up his dice, waiting for Tricky to clear up the board. And here we go. He shake, 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 and throws those dice. He has a 2, a 3, and a 5. And because he has 2 officers, he can activate all cards on his territory. All right, so he decides to activate both of his farms, and will he use those officers? No, he decides to use 1 farm and 2 of the palace's abilities to get 7 gold here. I guess he's going to save those 2 officers for the future when he can use them in a very strategic way. All right, and now we are going to be heading into round 3, and Playmaker, the pink beauty, is going to use his purchasing phase to get, let's see what he gets. Will he trade in some cards? Will he get some level 1 card? Okay, he's reaching for some gold. All right, he pays 2 gold and he draws his cards. He's going to draw Oh, he drew 3 cards. Oh my gosh. He looks so embarrassed. Oh, I picked 3 cards. Oh. But now he has to shuffle the deck, and Tricky is actually very angry about that because now we have to shuffle the deck and we don't know what the next card would be. So this could actually affect the outcome of this game. But yeah, so Tricky made the same mistake earlier, and they're both just giving each other a little jabs here and there. But yeah, so with Playmaker's purchasing phase, he gets 2 more markets into his hand, totaling 5 now. That's a lot of markets. Alright, into Tricky's purchasing phase, he's going to buy a level 1 card, and he gets... Alright, so he gets a blacksmith. And he's going to buy another with his barricade. Okay, so both players have schools and barricades in their hands. It would be a good strategy to quickly build a strong culture card like the temple up in the level 2 drafting pool. Alright, so it looks like both players are agreeing to just skip their building phase. Now, that's an interesting move from my opinion, because they're not building any markets, they're not building any culture, they're not building even attack cards. So I don't know where they're going with this, but we're going into the action phase with Playmaker. He is going to be rolling a 1, and a 4. All right, so he's going to be activating his farm. And he's going to activate the palace twice to gain 7 gold again. Wow, he has 13 gold in his pocket. That's a lot of gold for the next round. Going into Tricky's action phase, he rolls his dice. There we go. Pick them up. Come on, Tricky, let's go. 1, 2, 3, and dice roll. He gets a 1, 2, 3, a little mini straight. Now, Tricky's thinking how to use these dice. He can activate all cards in his territory with an officer. I think it would be a good choice to gain a mineral this turn and maybe build a level 2 card next turn. So he uses 2 for the palace and 1 for the market. And then he's going to be revealing his personal trading post tile. Now Tricky can get 3 officers for free with a single trade. It is actually a little bit more efficient than the palace's ability, which gives you 2 officers. Let's see how he uses this in the future. All right, so we are now going into round 4. Now Tricky is going to have a possibility. Yes, he's going to have 8 gold at his disposal, so he has many options of what he can do with his next purchase phase. Now, Tricky's purchasing phase, he can buy many level 1 cards, or he can, he's going to trade in 3 of his level 1 cards to get the temple from the drafting pool. Now, with the temple, he can gain 5 culture with its combo ability. However, it only has 2 life, and it needs a lot of officers since it's difficult to activate the combo command with 2 dice. Alright, in the Playmaker's purchasing phase, he just decides to get rid of that drafting pool because he's probably looking for something to counteract Tricky's temple. So, I know that there is a level 2 card in this mode called the Fleet, which can ignore the defense cards in front, and you can attack the back row or the palace. I think that would be a great choice for Playmaker right now. But he didn't get a Fleet in the drafting pool, so I think he will easily find Fleet since he has plenty of resources if he continues to just change out that level 2 drafting pool. But it looks like he's not going to do that. Okay, maybe he has a surprise later in his personal trading post. I don't know. Alright, so he builds a barricade right off the bat, and he wastes no time whatsoever. He builds his temple, and he builds his school, looking great up there, and so now he can possibly get 5 culture in 1 round with the temple. In Tricky's building phase, he didn't really have to hesitate. He knew that speed and boldness are the most important things when you use the temple. Since he has plenty of officers in his pocket, the game can end possibly in 4 turns without Playmaker making a proper attack. Alright, and then he uses his character card, the Captain. Wow! It's the character card that gives you 3 life tokens. Oh, now it is even more difficult for Playmaker to destroy the temple. Well played, Tricky, well played. Now he uses those 3 tokens, 2 life tokens on the temple, 1 on his barricade, beefing up those defenses, looking really good, Tricky. Seems that Tricky is leading the game right now with a very good engine on his territory. However, since Playmaker has a lot of gold and 2 personal trading post tiles, he is still in it and hopefully won't need to dress up as the bank in game 4. Alright, Playmaker builds 2 markets with his building phase, and we are going right into Tricky's action phase. Alright, he rolls those dice and he gets a 1, and a 5, and he's playing his second character card, the Architect. He puts the any die tokens on the temple and the market. Okay, so with his dice, he uses the temple to gain 5 culture, and he's going to trade 1 with the markets. Okay, so temple with an any die token and 2 life tokens. What a deadly combination it is. It is not impossible to destroy that in temple, but we need 4 damage to do so. Playmaker seems to be in so much trouble now. With his 1 trade from the market, he buys a mineral. All right, with Playmaker's action phase, he rolls the dice and he gets a 1, a 1, and a 6. Okay, I think maybe Playmaker will use his last character card or maybe personal trading post here. All right, so yes, he's going to flip over that trading post and it's a buy any die token. Oh no, he's trying to buy 2 any die tokens, but I think he misunderstood the rule. You can buy only 1 any die token at a time. Oh, he looks a little embarrassed, but he's still pretty. Yeah, look at that pink hair. He's still pretty, so you made pretty embarrassed. That's okay. With his dice, he activates all 3 of the palace innate abilities. So he gets 4 gold and 2 officers. Even with the mistake that has been made, he's still going to be first player and has enough gold in this next round. So I think he still has a chance to counterattack if he does it correctly. Going into round 5, it is Playmaker's purchase phase, and no matter what, this turn he must destroy the temple. The first thing he does is change that level 2 drafting pool to flip out the fleet. He got the card that he possibly wanted. He got the, Central Valley. That doesn't really help him, but really he got the fleet. So yes, he's trading in 3 cards to get the fleet, and yeah. So he possibly needs a little more attack here, so he's going to buy a level 1 card, and oh yes, he gets the infantry card. He was looking for that as well. Can he destroy that powerful temple this round? He sure hopes so. Now, Tricky has no options with no money and cards to trade in, so he skips his purchasing phase. Now, Playmaker's building phase, he decides to demolish a blacksmith and build another market. It looks like he's going full in on trading and purchasing some attack tokens. All right, so he is probably going to build that infantry and bring out that fleet. So let's see what he does. He's playing with his money. He's still rich. It looks pretty good. All right, and he has to break up his money because that's fun. Okay, so he builds the infantry for the fleet's requirements and demolishes it immediately and puts the fleet in its place. Now, Tricky skips his building phase because he has no resources to use. All right, Playmaker's action phase, he rolls a 2, 3, and a 5. Now, I thought he was going to attack with both the infantry and the fleet, which would do a lot of damage to his temple, but he demolished the infantry. Okay, so he puts the dice on the market, the farm, and the fleet. Now with the fleet, it can deal up to 3 damage ignoring defense cards, but since tokens limits are 2, it is so difficult to destroy Tricky's temple, which has a 4 life with a single attack. Alright, so after lots of thinking, it looks like he's going to change his dice. Yes, so he has 2 on the farms and he's changing from the fleet going to the market. Okay. With that activation, he gains 6 gold and a trade. With the trade, he's probably going to be buying 2 attack tokens to apply to the fleet. And yes, that's exactly what he's going to be doing. And now he can do more damage with his fleet next round. All right, now we will be heading into Tricky's action phase. He rolls the dice and into the pot. There we go. 1, 3, and 4. He quickly activates his temple with his combo, and then he gets the school. He's going to get 6 culture this round, bringing the total of 11 culture points. All right, heading into round 6, it looks like both players are going to be skipping their purchasing phase. Now, since Tricky is the first player in this round, he can score up to 17 culture right now. And that puts Playmaker almost out of the game. He needs a miracle. All right, and the building phase for Playmaker, he decides to demolish that farm, and maybe he's using that place to build a character card later. All right, we're going into Tricky's action phase. He is excited for this. He's going to be rolling those dice, and he gets a 2, and a 6. Now, he can score 16 culture if he activates a temple's combo command. Okay, so that might be what he wants to do, but he's thinking, and he's looking at the level 2 discard pile. Oh, I don't know why he's doing that. Okay, thinking about the future here or something, and he's thinking a lot, and then, okay, now he's looking at the level 1 discard pile. Huh, that's really interesting. I thought it would just be automatic to use the temple. But, okay. So because Playmaker is supposed to be the first player next round, it looks like Tricky is preparing for the palace to be attacked. All right, so he activates his palace to get 2 gold, and he's going to use that 2 gold to trade with the market to buy 2 life tokens. I'm pretty sure he's going to protect his palace against the fleet. Yeah, Playmaker's like, I wanted to kill that! And with his temple, he's gaining 2 culture there. All right, we're going into Playmaker's action phase, and he immediately builds his engineer. He plays himself on the game. All right, so when present on the territory, an engineer ignores the status token limits of the cards. And since Fleet can deal damage ignoring defense cards with enough attack tokens on it, it is possible to destroy the temple or even the palace with a single attack. Wow, this game just became so exciting. All right, so he activates the palace to gain 2 golds, and he gets 2 trades with both of his markets. All right, it looks like, yes, he's going all in to buy 6 attack tokens and apply them to the fleet. This is great. It looks like he's going to go straight for that palace with a single attack by accumulating so many attack tokens. Oh my gosh, whoa, I'm getting chills. No matter how much culture score Tricky has, it's meaningless if the palace is destroyed. All right, this is such an exciting round 7 to go into. It's Playmaker's purchase phase. Tricky's palace has 2 life tokens, so to destroy that palace, Playmaker should deal 14 damage. Now, Playmaker's fleet can deal 9 damage ignoring defense cards, so he needs 5 more tokens to destroy Tricky's palace. They both skip both of their phases, and we go into action phase with Playmaker. He rolls a 1, a 1, and a 6, and although he can activate 2 markets and the fleet, he needs 1 more gold to buy 5 attack tokens. So he's short by 1 gold, and he can't destroy the palace, so he's going to activate his fleet, and he's going to probably destroy that temple, which is, yes, it's going to be wasting 5 attack tokens, but he did 9 damage to the temple. Boom, 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 it is gone. Oh, that is such a waste. I'm so sad for Playmaker. He was so close by 1 gold. In this action phase, he gains 6 gold, 2 loot from destroying the temple, and 4 from the palace. It looks like Tricky's cautious play early to apply 2 life tokens to his palace resulted in a great defense, defending him from losing the game. Into Tricky's action phase, he rolls a 3, 4, 5. He's going to be activating the palace twice to get 4 gold, and he's activating one of his markets. He's going to trade with the market to buy an infantry. I guess he's going to attack Playmaker since Playmaker has no defense cards in his territory. All right, starting round 8, both players are going to be skipping their purchasing phase. And Tricky in his building phase decides to build his infantry, going on the attack. And Playmaker's building phase, he demolishes his market and builds a barricade for defense. Into Tricky's action phase, he rolls a 2, a 2, and a 6, and although Tricky couldn't destroy Playmaker's fleet or engineer this turn, Tricky's choice to build the infantry made Playmaker demolish his market and build a barricade, forcing him into that move. This guy is really good at mind play, but we cannot expect anything less from a player named Tricky. So he puts 2 of his dice on the palace to gain 4 gold, and he's going to trade with the market to buy 3 officers. All right, future investment, very good. All right, Playmaker's action phase. He rolls, he rolls, he rolls. He needs a miracle right now. Come on, Playmaker. All right, he rolls a 1, 2, and a 5. All right, he decides to activate his market and his fleet and his other market. Okay, so his first trade, he's going to buy an attack token and apply it to the fleet. He's going to use that to destroy the school. Then he gains 1 gold as a loot. It seems like he's trying to accumulate more attack tokens again to destroy Tricky's palace, but I don't think he has enough time. With his second trade, he chooses to buy 3 attack tokens, and he's going to be applying those to the fleet. It looks like Playmaker is living on a prayer right now because Tricky has way too high of a culture score. All right, going into round 9, we are nearing the end here, ladies and gentlemen. The tension is thick. So, Playmaker decides to skip his purchase phase, and Tricky will be, using his purchase phase to probably buy some more cards, trade to get that temple up there. So yes, he's buying 3 cards immediately, all level 1 cards. He doesn't even need to look at them. He's going to trade them, grab that temple, and put it into his hand. Yes, that's a good move right there. Luckily, he is in a good position where he may be able to build that soon. Now, both players will skip their building phase, and we're going into Playmaker's action phase. He rolls a 2, a 2, and a 5. Now, if Tricky buys a school from the market, Tricky will build the temple and win the game next round. Playmaker is running out of options here. He decides to activate his fleet and his palace to gain 4 gold and attack his market. Now, that's very essential here, but he's wasting, again, so many attack tokens to destroy something so weak. So it's a good option, but he wanted more. He wanted to destroy that palace. All right, Tricky rolls his dice, and he gets a 3, 6, and a 6. Now, next round, if he could build that temple, he basically wins. He's going to activate his palace 3 times to gain 4 gold and 2 officers here. Building for the future. All right, hopefully he has enough to get that. All right, into round 10. Tricky needs a school here from the level 1 card, so he's buying it really fast. And he gets a market and a farm. Oh my gosh, look, Playmaker is so excited right there because Tricky doesn't have enough resources. He needs 5 gold and a mineral to build a school and a temple, but he needs to buy another card to get that school. So yes, here we go. He buys 2 more. He gets another market and a blacksmith, which doesn't help him at all. And even though he failed to draw a school right now, he can get a school from the market in the action phase. Now, Playmaker's rolling his dice, but he skips his purchasing phase, and Tricky builds that market. Now, Playmaker's going to skip his building phase. We go into action phase right off the bat, going into Tricky's. He rolls a 4, 5, and a 6. He's going to activate his market and the palace twice to get some gold. Now, his only option here with that trade is to go into the level 1 discards and get a school so he can build that culture. So yes, he's reaching for those discards. He has no other option just to get that school, bring it into play next round. All right, we are going into Playmaker's action phase. And, I believe, okay, he's going to be rolling his dice here. There we go. He got a 2, 3, and a 5. And it looks like at this time it will be very difficult for Playmaker to destroy Tricky's palace in 2 turns. I think Playmaker might have won this game if he had destroyed Tricky's temple faster. Instead, he kept trying to crush Tricky's palace with a single attack. It was a bold move, but it might not have panned out at all. Now, with his dice, he is going to activate his fleet, his market, and his other market. All right, so he's probably going to get some attack tokens on that fleet, which is consistent with his attack strategy. So he's going to put that token on the fleet, attack the barricade, and destroy it and gain 1 gold in loot there. Now, it is very difficult to deal 14 damage to the palace in just 1 turn. I don't think Playmaker can do it. It might mean another defeat here. Now, with his second trade, he is going to continue to buy attack tokens. He's buying 3 attack tokens and placing them on his fleet. It must feel so terrible for Playmaker to waste so many extra attack tokens on 2 other targets earlier rather than the palace and win the game. It looks like we're going into round 11, which may be our last round here. I don't think there are any options. It's basically an imminent defeat for Playmaker. He's rolling his dice, maybe just hoping that they will turn up, maybe a 4th extra one just there. But because Fleet's damage can only be increased up to 10 this turn, it was impossible for Playmaker to actually do this. Playmaker was very close to destroying Tricky's palace with a single attack, but he lacked just 1 gold. And with that miscalculation, it let him decide to accumulate attack tokens on his fleet instead of destroying the temple when it mattered most. As a result, he had a lot of lost attack tokens, and finally, as it is, he has lost again for the 3rd time in a row. But it looks like Playmaker is looking to buy something. Okay, so he's spending some money, maybe delaying the inevitable here, but he's reaching for character cards. Oh man, I don't know any card that will help him right here, but maybe the win instantly card. It could be there. Maybe the Emperor that doesn't exist. Maybe a dragon comes in and burns fire on the field. All right, so Playmaker's looking. He's feeling pretty good and sassy and reaching for the white flag. He's throwing in the towel and he's conceding the victory to Tricky. Now, Tricky has now won 3 in a row, and we are going to see Playmaker dressing up as the bank in our next episode. Now, good work to Tricky, the ruthless strategist, making sure that every time Playmaker made a mistake, he capitalized on it. Thank you so much for joining us for today's game, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you in Game 4.